I just simply pronounce the names based off of what I remember from Ocarina of Time, because back in Ocarina of Time, Rudania was pronounced Rudania, Ruda was pronounced Ruda. And it looks like we got the timers going. Lepelog's timer looks like it's 27 minutes or 27 seconds ahead. I'm not sure why. Looks like we may have a minor error or we need an adjustment on our timers. Not sure, but we will see. At any rate, the very first thing that we want to look at here is, yeah, I think that he did start his timer a little bit early, but we can always correct that. Yeah, we'll just have a minor correction on Lepelog's afterwards. I think he's about 14 seconds ahead. One of the first things we want to look for here in the run is how the runners are going to deviate in their plateau routing. There is a new route for plateau that saves about 10 seconds that switches around the order of the shrines that you do. So it'll be very interesting to see whether or not the runners are going to be using the new routing, which is a little bit more tricky because you have to do 2 extra launches, or if they're going to opt for the safer, older version, which is a little bit more consistent, a little bit easier to get, but it also is about 10-15 seconds slower. Oh, 18 seconds. Thank you, Unseen Dragon. I think 18 seconds is the most optimized you can get it. However, typically runners experience about a 10 to 15 second increase. So like I said, neither runner last run attempted to go the new route, so it will be interesting to see if either of the runners here do.
Dann wird der Weg sich dir öffnen.
Okay, yeah, looks like we've just removed Lepelog's timer just for the lack of distractions.
Es ist Zeit, deine Reise zu beginnen.
So I just checked some of the speedrun.com records. It looks like Lepelog runs on the Wii U, typically. Again, I'm not sure what FlameINN runs on, but Lepelog will have that advantage of having a little bit faster loading screens because of such.
Link! Link! Begib dich zu dem Ort, den der Schikastein dir weist.
Seraphim Mist, the standard Breath of the Wild all dungeons run can take anywhere between 2.5 to 3.5 hours. World record runs are a little bit shorter than that. However, this is typically where we'll see runners in races place. All right, let's see if they can get this shield grab in the air from this bokoblin coming up. Oh, it looks like lepelog was able to grab it. However, FlameINN not quite getting the jump quick enough. We'll have to run around and grab it, losing about 2 seconds. Okay, so it looks like Flame is on Switch. Interesting. I would have said that he was on the Wii U just because of how close they are so far. However, we're not going to see any massive differences until they actually get to any shrines. So we'll see how that affects his timing and how far he'll go behind because of that. Like I said, with an all dungeons run, since it is such a short run and there's so few loading zones, I can't see it affecting him too much. However, we'll see. FlameINN getting that fall damage negation done, no problem. lepelog doing his now. Also got it, no problem. That can sometimes cause some difficulty because taking a death down there will be quite tragic. Those of you who don't know, they switch weapons as they're about to throw their axe in order to glitch the game into thinking that it just started falling, and that causes it to negate the fall damage so that they don't die from such a high fall. It saves a lot of time to having to go down each individual platform down the tower. However, failing to complete the trick correctly can result in a death and time loss. Alright, now we're going to see what routing each of these runners take here for these first 4 shrines. It looks like FlameINN is going towards the Bomb Shrine, where lepelog is opting for the Magnesis Shrine. So not too much of a difference in routing yet. We could still see either one of them, or not necessarily either one of them, but lepelog go for the new shorter version. Looks like FlameINN, since he is going towards the Bomb Shrine, is going to be doing the older routing, which is a lot safer, but again, not nearly as quick. Let's see if he can avoid getting seen by this first Guardian so that he doesn't have to see the cutscene. Alright, and he skips it, no problem. All you need to do is stay far enough to the right in order to not be too close to the Guardian's range, so good for him. lepelog grabbing that box there. Some necessary items for money later on in the run. Yeah, and that ruby only appears in the DLC 1. It's a DLC 1 edition. A lot of runners use that ruby as an advantage so that they can use it later on to sell and buy necessary items they need for this run. Otherwise, you would have to find money elsewhere, like we saw in the previous run, where they had to kill stone taluses, farm rubies or other minerals in the mineral deposits, which can be a little bit tricky because it's all depending on RNG, whether you get, you know, an amber that sells for 30 rupees or a topaz that sells for 200 plus rupees. Nice dodge on that Guardian there. That was a really close hit. Very risky doing that jump before he shoots at you, because if he shoots at you in midair, you fall into the water and have to make a swim all the way back. Very big time loss. Each runner is completing their respective first shrine now. Really no telling which one's in the lead at this point because these shrines take different times to complete. So really, the best indicator for who's in the lead is going to be who gets the paraglider first. All right, now we're going to see if lepelog is going to attempt the new faster routing. If he teleports to the Resurrection Shrine, that means he is. If he just runs or teleports to the tower and then to the Bomb Shrine, that means he's going with the safer route. And it looks like we have the new route on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. Lepelog is going to be going to the Resurrection Shrine, which means rather than getting the Bomb Shrine and the Magnesis Shrine in the beginning, he's actually going to be going to the Resurrection Shrine now. Or sorry, the Bomb Shrine and Magnesis Shrine and then the Resurrection Shrine. He's going straight to the Resurrection and getting the Bomb Shrine last. FlameINN we're going to see here. It looks like he did a teleport to the tower, so he'll be doing another fall death negation down the tower and then making his way to the Magnesis trial. While we see lepelog going to the cold damage area, which is probably the most fun in the entire plateau. A really good indicator of runner's play skill comes here, ladies and gentlemen. There's a certain strategy as to approaching this cold area and a certain skill involved. If that skill is high enough, then the runner will only have to use one mushroom in order to get to the shrine without killing Link from cold damage. If mistakes are made, if it's a little bit longer, or if it takes too much time, then the runner may have to use more than one mushroom. Oh, and it looks like lepelog is going to take a death here. Yep, saving in order to not have to start all the way back at the Resurrection Shrine. However, that is unfortunate for him. It's going to be a little bit of a time loss on his end. He's making his way now up the mountain. There's a very specific way of scaling this mountain so you can get there as quickly as possible. Yeah, very good save on lepelog's part. Getting that save in there so he doesn't have to start all the way to the Resurrection Shrine. I'm glad that he was, able to accept, you know what, I'm going to take a time loss, but it's going to be as little of a time loss as possible. Let's see if he is able to get there without having to down another mushroom. It looks like he's going to be getting there without having to down another mushroom. Very good, very skillful on his part, despite the death that he took. All in all, solid climb, again, despite having fallen into the cold water. Soon we're going to be seeing FlameINN attempting that same scale, so we'll see how he fares. He'll be doing that after this shrine that he's completing now. It'll also be interesting to see lepelog attempt this next Cryonis jump that he's going to attempt, or not attempt. Probably one of the more fun strategies and tricks to do in this game is where you essentially create a Cryonis block, and then you quickly do a shield jump onto the Cryonis block, and jump on the block as it rises, which gives you a lift, allowing you to access higher up locations more quickly. So we're going to see him attempting to make that jump rather than having to walk around to the teeter-totter platform that he has to climb up. Saves approximately 5 seconds. Here goes the jump. Perfectly executed. Well done, lepelog. Ooh, almost falls to the side there. That would have been unfortunate to get that jump and then having to fall off the side and doing the walk around anyways. But he gets it no problem, was able to stay on the platform, and he gets the crown and shrine. FlameINN now just teleporting to the Shrine of Resurrection. He's going to be making his way to the cold area. Again, hopefully he's not met with the same fate that lepelog. And then lepelog is going to be doing part 2 of the cold area. Hopefully this goes more smoothly than the first. Although it's fairly straightforward, even though there's a little bit of a hike in the beginning. He's going to be doing a shield surf and then hiking up the mountain. And then he'll be finishing off it with another shield surf. Oh, didn't quite get the bump on that little ridge there. FlameINN getting some decent speed on that very first shield. Ooh, almost falls off to the side though. He's going to be starting to run way further back than he wants to. FlameINN gets the jump over the bridge, no problem. Lepelog's on final approach to stasis. Looks like he's going to have to down another mushroom here. Oh, and he goes for the Hyrule Herb. I only saw FlameINN. Did he? I didn't think I saw him down a mushroom, but I think he did down at least one. Good fall damage negation there. He's able to make his way to the stasis shrine. Very well executed by lepelog. That's a much harder one than the one up on the tower, simply because it's a shorter distance. And is he going to make it? Is he going to make it? FlameINN's so close to... Oh, he makes it. So FlameINN makes his way up to the shrine with only taking down one of the mushrooms. He'll be able to use those later on in the run. And then here's another shield jump trick that's a little bit risky, simply because if you don't get it correctly, then you don't have enough life to spawn back at the location. You will die, and you'll have to start the shrine all over again, with the stasis rune, of course, but it's still a time loss. And then we'll see FlameINN on this side attempt to do the shield jump on the Cryonis block. Oh, doesn't quite make that first one. Ooh, lepelog makes it very clutch jump, but is able to get it done. And here's the jump on FlameINN's side. Oh, misses the jump, so he's going to have to walk around, losing a couple of precious seconds. Oops, still having a hard time there. I think he did that side hop, however, to dodge that Guardian. But he makes it up regardless. Now lepelog is going to be making his way over to the Bomb Shrine, which will be his final. This is where you're going to be seeing that difference in routing, where at this point FlameINN would probably just go straight to the Temple of Time, whereas lepelog is going to be taking a slightly different route. He's going to be using this block rather to be going to the Bomb Trial. So he's going to be using this block to take him down to the bottom, just east of the Temple of Time, and then using one final tree to do a rocket launch up to the final trial, which is the Bomb Trial for him. Very well executed launch. Makes it in there just in time. Right inside that area, which is what he wanted. Very, very difficult launch to perform. Oh, FlameINN having to stop so that he doesn't bonk into that pillar there. But that's okay. Looks like he's going to be making his way to the stasis room, no problem. Oh, a little bit of a problem there with his jump. Looks like FlameINN jumped a little bit too soon off of the cliff, and so he ended up just landing on another smaller cliff. But he was able to get down regardless, so he'll be making his way into his final shrine, while lepelog completes his. So now lepelog is going to be performing his final tree launch in the plateau, which is going to be essentially him running towards the closest tree that he can find, or the tree that he prefers. A lot of runners have different trees that they'll use for this launch, and then he'll launch himself up to the roof of the Temple of Time. It's a really good launch because it avoids you having to climb the Temple of Time, which is a time save. And it's one of the reasons this new route is a little bit faster than the old route that FlameINN is attempting. Now we'll see FlameINN doing this jump with his shield over. Again, very risky jump. See if he does able to make it. Oh! And he's not able to make it, but he downs a herb just so that he doesn't have to start the whole thing over again. Probably a very smart thing to do. So he'll be downing his last herb, and so that he can end up right where that jump is and try it again. And he makes it a second time, no problem. Now we'll see lepelog's final stasis launch here on the plateau. Let's see if this one is just as smooth as the first. Ooh, that is a perfect launch, very well executed. Again, very difficult to perform, but lepelog was able to get it done absolutely flawlessly. So he'll be getting his paraglider now while FlameINN leaves his last shrine. He's going to be doing that rock launch that I was telling you about previously so that he'll be able to get to the Temple of Time. Again, he's going to have to climb to the roof, which will be a little bit of a time loss, but regardless, he is still going to be getting it at a fairly decent time. Again, kudos to lepelog getting that launch done. That is not an easy task. And you see a slightly different variation of the rock launch that FlameINN is attempting. He uses that bomb in order to get the perfect angle. Yep, no one can complain about that angle when it comes to that launch. But he's going to be making his way up to Temple of Time now. lepelog grabbing that bow, which will come in handy later on. He's going to be teleporting over to the Magnesis Shrine so that he can do either a launch to a horse or he's just going to be a simple glide to a horse. We'll see. Is there typically a variation on which beast to go for first, Felix? Not that I've seen. The fastest way for this run that they have found, as far as Divine Beast goes, has always been the same. It's been Vametto first, then Vanaboris, then Varuta, then Varudanya. So yeah, looks like Lepelog's going to be doing another very, very difficult launch. This one, very many things can go wrong, so let's see if he's able to get it correctly. Ooh, not quite able to get it on that try, so let's see how he respawns. Oh, it looks like he's just going to be running for the closer horses that are just down the cliff here, rather than the ones that are further away and slightly faster. This is what I typically opt for when I'm doing this strat, is if I can't get that on the first try, then I'll just come to these closer horses and I'll get this one. Looks like he was able to get the 4 stamina 3 speed horse, so he's going to be making his way. Let's see if he chooses to go and try and grab the faster horse, or if he's going to go straight to his very first location, which is the shrine that he has to activate. It looks like Lepelog is opting to use infinite horse stamina glitch. Oh, fails it right there, but was able to get it the first time, however. Now, FlameINN is going to be attempting his launch in order to get his horse. Let's see if he has a little bit more luck than Lepelog did. Okay, it looks like he wasn't able to get it the first time. He's going to be reloading, and he's going to be trying to launch again. So we'll see how this affects the time distance between him and Lepelog. Yeah, this horse is not a bad horse to get overall, this 3 speed 4 stamina. It's not the ideal horse for most runners, simply because that 4 speed is so much more quick to get to the locations that they need to. Ooh, very, very close shave with that Guardian. And it looks like FlameINN was able to get that launch the second time. He's a little bit farther to the right than he would want to be, so he's going to be going to that stone next to the horses. And if I'm not mistaken, Lepelog actually skipped a shrine that was at one of the stables where you register the horse. So I wonder what his thought process is behind that. FlameINN's going to be grabbing his horse. Let's see if he has luck in getting a 4 speed the first try. And he does. 4 speed horse, first try. Good for FlameINN. And he's going to be now making his way over to what should be the first shrine that they activate, which is at the stable. Lepelog seems to have skipped that one. So we'll see what his thought process is behind this. iBubba7, the reason why Lepelog's timer isn't showing is simply because he started his timer accidentally a little bit earlier than he should have, so his timer was off. So just for a little bit of consistency's sake, we're all going with FlameINN's timer. So now Lepelog's going to be making his way over to his first set of launches, which is at another stable. Perhaps he intends on registering his horse there, I'm not sure. But for now, FlameINN is now going to be going to the very first, well, not the very first, the closest shrine to Hyrule Castle that he will be activating, so that he can then teleport there later. And again, he's going to have a little bit more of a time advantage because FlameINN has a faster horse. But then again, we wonder whether or not Lepelog's decision to skip that first shrine and that first stable and not register the horse quite yet is faster, but I guess we'll see. Oh, that's right. It is true. Lepelog is going to be going for the flying machine. That's why he skips that. But yeah, it looks like Lepelog is actually going to be using the flying machine on this run, so he doesn't grab that first stable shrine, simply because he's not going to need the horse much further past this stable that he's going to now. Since FlameINN did register the horse, it makes me believe that he is not going to be doing the flying machine, and that he's going to stick with a safer strat. And why not? He got the 4-speed horse, right? Might as well use it. Although he didn't register the horse, which makes me believe that he might be also considering the flying machine as well. And I guess we'll see. Okay, now we see Lepelog approaching the sorry, not the shrine, the stable where we will be stealing money from a young man who's just trying to donate to the Great Fairy. Oh, and it looks like FlameINN taking a death there. Very unfortunate. Those guardians can be quite a pain if you don't dodge them. So he's going to have to reload. I wonder where the game is going to be reloading, however. Hopefully it's not too far away so he doesn't lose too much time. Yeah, very unfortunate death there. Ooh, wow. Looks like it took him all the way back to that first shrine that he activated. So that's going to be a decent time loss there. Very, very unfortunate. Yeah, that's probably a good 15, 20 seconds, maybe even a half a minute there. That's going to be going down the drain for FlameINN. But again, still very early in the race, guys. We've seen it go back and forth before in these runs. Right now, Lepelog is going to be stealing money from the gentleman who's just trying to donate to the Great Fairy, but ends up just donating to our All Dungeons cause. So shout out to Torin for donating to the All Dungeons tournament. 500 rupees. Alright, now Lepelog is going to be attempting this series of launches, which aren't easy to say the least. A lot of things can go wrong if not done correctly. Yeah, it's still very early game to call a winner. He's able to get that launch off nicely. Not quite the height that he was hoping for, but the directionality is perfect. Very, very expertly done launch. So he's going to be attempting to get some RNG launches here now. And it looks like he got a sapphire from it and a topaz. So very good RNG there. That's at least 500 rupees in his pocket. No one could be mad about that. It'll save him a lot of time in the long run. FlameINN still trying to dodge these bullies of guardians that are trying to pick at him as he's just trying to finish an All Dungeons run, guys. Come on, let him go. And here comes the second launch that Lepelog is going to... Wow, very, very clutch. Had a very hard time getting on that tree log so he could make the launch. But he was able to get back on it just in the nick of time, and he was able to get that successfully. Not quite the angle, again, that he was hoping for, but again, not a launch you can complain about since it was very, very close to failing. Actually, that's much higher than he needed. That's a very, very good launch now that I look at it closely. Most runners have to do a little bit of a climb to get on the platform that lepelog landed on, and he was just able to soar right on top of it. Very, very well done. Oh, hello, BM. Thank you so much for the bit donation. We appreciate it. Nice 200 bitos right there. Launch was a little bit lower than lepelog, but it gets him there regardless. So he's going to be landing on this little platform to the side instead. And then making his way to speak to the Rito King, or Rito Chief, I believe is what it is.
Link. 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 Dies ist einer der Titanen, die Ganon vor 100 Jahren in seine Gewalt gebracht.
Now FlameINN is making his way to the stable.
Weg finden, in sein Inneres einzudringen und ihn von Ganons Einfluss zu befreien. Link, ich vertraue auf dich.
Right, and after this cutscene, we're going to see another tree launch here from lepelog. All these launches are really, really hard to get. Like, I can't stress that enough, that if any one of these launches go wrong, that's an instant 45, 50 seconds down the drain for our runners, which is not good. FlameINN now cashing in some of the money that our dear Torin is going to be donating to Faith. Ill-advised Torin, but you know, if you don't learn your lesson the first 5,000 times that a runner does this to you, then I guess you have it coming. Lepelog opting to buy some armor, it looks like. Okay, so now it looks like FlameINN is going to be registering his horse here. That leads me to believe that he is not planning on doing the flying machine. However, we will see. Open. Rather than buying armor, it looks like he's going to be buying a mushroom that he's going to be using for cold damage. That'll save him some money in the long run. And they're both attempting launches now. Lepelog gets his no problem. Let's see FlameINN attempt his here. Oop, not quite what he wanted, but you know what? He's going to glide the rest of the way anyways. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. If you end up doing your jump in just the wrong way, you'll end up landing on the log just as it fires, which will not cause you to get hit by it, but you'll end up riding it all the way down. Which looks really, really cool, but for runners who are trying to make it all the way to the other side of the peak without losing stamina, it's kind of unfortunate, because now he's going to end up with no stamina as he reaches his first cliff, and he's going to have more climbing to do in the near future. Yep, now he's going to be out of stamina. Going to wait until he's done with his stamina. There we are. A little bit more climbing. Okay, yeah, it's a little bit of time loss there for FlameINN, but no worries. Lepelog, meanwhile, cooking all the food he's going to need for when he gets to the high elevation. Nice shooting by lepelog, no problems on that side. Flame is going to be attempting the second jump into the Rito village now. Hopefully this one goes a little bit better than the first. And lepelog is going to be doing the enter Rito segment now. Again, trying to optimize his bomb arrows as possible. We don't want to use too many because we're going to need them in future Divine Beasts and also in future runs. Or not in future runs, but also at Ganon. Oh, and a perfect launch for FlameINN. Very, very good. No problems on his end whatsoever. Looks like his height is a little bit lower than what lepelog achieved, but he'll still be able to make it up no problem. Yeah, so it looks like he's going to be doing a little bit of climbing to get to that ideal platform. Oh, nope, it looks like he's going to be going to the lower platform and running his way to where he needs to be. Probably smarter. Oh, runs out of stamina there on accident. Alright, let's watch lepelog's enter Meadow. 2 shots, no problem. That is the easiest of the turrets. Ooh, and he forgets to down some of his food that he needed for the cold damage, so he takes a death there. Ooh, very unfortunate. Yeah, if you forget to get your cold damage food eaten, then you're going to end up taking damage as he was up there. He didn't realize he was taking all that damage because he didn't down his food. And yeah, he takes a death there. A little bit of a time loss on his end. Ooh, quite a bit of a time loss, because it looks like it's going to load him back before he did the shooting sequence, which means he's going to have to cook again. He's going to have to do the shooting sequence again. He's going to have to talk to the bird again, the entire talking to him. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a time loss right there. Oh, and it looks like FlameINN missed that first launch up to the Rito Chief, so he's going to have to use another piece of log. Yeah, so lepelog is still a little bit ahead, but definitely FlameINN appreciates that death there because it gives him a little bit of room to breathe, gives him a little bit of a chance to catch up. Yeah, it looks like FlameINN failed that launch the second time, so he's just going to be walking to the Rito Chief. Again, more time loss on his end. Definitely didn't capitalize on that death by lepelog, but he's still got plenty more chances to perform perfect strats. Yep, didn't forget to eat the food this time. Alright, first turret, no problem. Again, not the one he has to worry about. Now, if everyone would like to count with me to see how many bomb arrows he used, typical number of arrows to use is 8. There's 3. There's 4. There's 5. There's 6. There's 7. There's 8. Oop, and there's 9. 9 arrows, just 1 was missing. Honestly, any runner would be happy. So he's going to be able to save a good portion of his bomb arrows for later use. FlameINN's a little bit disoriented right now just because he ends up having to go to the shooting range in a little bit different location than he's used to. So, oh, never mind. He was able to find which tree he needed to use, what location he needed to be at. Oh, tree looked like it was going to fall. It might fall. Okay, he was able to stasis it before it went down. A little bit weird of an angle, a little bit far to the right, but let's see. Oh, and he missed that launch. That is going to be very, very unfortunate for him. And he's deciding what he wants to do here. That little hesitation is going to hurt him. lepelog was having a little bit of time setting up with that updraft, but he was able to get it second try. Routing on Palmetto hasn't changed in a while, so we're going to see a lot of consistency between these two runners, doing pretty much the same thing. Oh, didn't quite get up to the first terminal. Yeah, looks like FlameINN took a death warp there just so he could get back up onto that launch and try that once more. That is, again, like I said, a little bit of a time loss on his end. I'm pretty sure this compensates for the death that lepelog took, so that probably squares them up pretty evenly. Ooh, lepelog fell a little bit too far and wasn't able to get that third shrine there. Ooh, that's a second failed attempt on FlameINN's end, so he's going to reload. It looks like the first time he didn't take a death, he just did a reload, but still, those loading screens take a lot more time than you wish they did. So he's going to try this launch on a third time. Hopefully he can get it this time. lepelog's then going to death warp back up to the second shrine so that he can make his way over to the fourth. Not looking really good for FlameINN right now just because he's having such a hard time with this launch. No, missed it a second time, or a third time I should say. Let's see what he plans on doing here. Oh, he's trying to climb back up, see if he can make it. No, it's not going to be enough, so he's going to load back to that. Try it a fifth time perhaps, or maybe just cut his losses and glide over to the other side. Meanwhile, lepelog grabbing that last terminal. FlameINN's going to try this a fifth time. doesn't get it again. He keeps on jumping off to the side rather than where he needs to, which is straight forward. Lepelog's going to be doing this Wind Blight fight. Let's see if he can one cycle both times for the Phase 1 and Phase 2. Yeah, meanwhile, FlameINN cutting his gliding across. That's going to be a massive time loss on his part. Hopefully he can recover. Nope, didn't quite get the one cycle. Wind Blight was too fast on the teleport for him. But he's going to be getting the half damage on this one right here. And there it is. Meanwhile, FlameINN making his way over to the shooting range. Let's hope these Bokoblins don't give him a hard time. So far, so good. Let's see if he's going to be able to one-cycle this. Oop, and it looks like he's going to be able to get it. Oh, not quite. But one shot's going to finish this fight right here, so no problem. There it is. It looks like he's opting to watch the cutscene. Oh, never mind. He did the skip. You remember you're supposed to skip cutscenes here. As much as we love watching some Breath of the Wild cutscenes, we have a speedrun to finish. Nope, didn't quite release the arrow on that one on FlameINN's side. Man, those motion controls are so hard to aim with. FlameINN's going to be doing his Enter the Meadow section right now, while Lepelog begins making his way towards the Gerudo Desert. This launch that's coming up is, I cannot stress enough how hard it is. Rather than using a block, rather than using a tree, you're actually using a treasure chest to launch yourself to where you need to get to. It's a very, very small object. Your window for getting the shot right is so small, you have to be doing it exactly correctly. So we'll see how Lepelog is able to attempt this launch, if he does indeed decide to do this launch. But from where he's teleporting, it looks like he's going to attempt. Will he be using the DLC? Or will he be using... Oh, yep, it looks like he's using the water chest. He's not using the DLC chest. And then we're also watching FlameINN do his Enter the Meadow. Let's see how many arrows he ends up using. He got 2 so far. Ooh, perfect launch. First try. Very, very good on Lepelog's part. Very expertly executed. FlameINN's 2 arrows. Wow, I can't get over how hard that is, and he got it first try. There's 3. There's 4. There's 5. There's 6. 7, 8. Wow, 8 arrows, no misses. Great shots by FlameINN. So now FlameINN is going to be doing the meadow sequence while lepelog makes his way to the Gerudo Desert. This is another launch that, again, can be difficult. Perfectly done. Not a single runner would complain about that launch. That is a beautiful launch. Perfect directionality, right where he wanted to go. So we'll see him collecting his shield and his sand seal and making his way towards the town. Well, FlameINN having a little bit of a hard time getting up that first terminal. Okay, second try, he gets up there, no problem. Link sometimes does not quite respond well to the please jump command. This is his first game where he can jump on command, so he's still getting the hang of it. Now we're going to talk to the creeper here, who has information we need. We're going to activate the shrine, and we're going to head back over to the oasis, where we will be speaking to a kind lady who's willing to sell us some lady clothes. Because if I've said it once, I've said it a million times, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing makes Legend of Zelda 2017 more complete than a cross-dressing Link. FlameINN actually being very quick about getting these terminals taken care of. He's making his way now over to the fourth and final one. Fourth and fifth, which would be the final one. Meanwhile, lepelog cashes in some rupees for some clothes. Oh, FlameINN failing that strat to get the block to fire early. He's going to have to hit it a couple more times. A little bit of a time loss there, but not a problem. I'm not sure he quite realizes that you have to actually be on the cliff or on the little ledge to the side rather than right straight in the middle just because you're too low to hit it. Now lepelog is going to be going through some chat dialogues with the princess, and then make his way over to the Yiga clan hideout. Meanwhile, FlameINN is going to be doing his light fight. Let's see how he fares here. Not quite able to get the one cycle simply because he didn't use bomb arrows, he uses ice arrows rather. Not sure if that was done intentionally. There's a bomb arrow to the face that'll take him to second phase. Opening. It looks like he was a little bit late on that one cycle for second phase. Dropped a couple of arrows trying to get it, so that's going to be unfortunate for him. But this will be the end of that fight here. Looks like we're going to watch a little bit of the cutscene there as well. Will there be a Champions Ballad speedrun, or is that too long? Talpixel, I think too long of a speedrun does not exist. As long as there are still crazy people running the 100%, which is about 33 hours long, I would say that we can expect to see a Champions Ballad speedrun in the near future. Okay, now lepelog is going to be doing the Yiga clan hideout segment. Hopefully he has no troubles with this. It looks like he's going to opt to take the higher ground in order to avoid those pesky Yiga snipers. Meanwhile, FlameINN is going to be teleporting out. He will be approaching the same chest strat that I was mentioning before. It looks like he's going to opt to use the DLC chest rather than the chest in the water. Good idea, save before doing it, because a lot of things can go wrong here. Looks like he's grabbing the 5 bomb arrows from that chest. Probably smart since he wasted a couple of arrows in that meadow fight. Let's hope he can get this chest strat without any issues. Ooh, very high, very good launch. Yeah, no runner would be upset about that one. That's going to make him go all the way to where he needs to be. A little bit more of a time save over lepelog, so that's good. Now, lepelog's going to be finishing up here with the Yiga Clan hideout segment. We'll be approaching the hardest boss in the game, guys. The one and the only, the Beard Gut Koga. Again, a lot of runners struggle with this boss. A lot of runs die due to this boss because of all the mechanics and strats that are needed to complete it. Very, very strat heavy, very, very risky boss to undertake. That could do a lot of damage to you, end up having you lose a lot of arrows, and ultimately kill your run. Oh, and it looks like FlameINN forgot to down some food before he attempted that launch, and he took a death there. It's going to be a little bit of a time loss. Alright, FlameINN's going to be attempting this tree launch once more. Oh, and he missed it a second time. There's going to be a reload here on his part. FlameINN's having a little bit of a difficult time getting these tree launches down. Meanwhile, lepelog's still picking furiously at the Koga fight. Alright, looks like we're going to go for a third try here on this tree strat for FlameINN. Wish him best of luck. 3 is hopefully the charm. Oh, and it looks like he took a death there again. Forgot that he needed the food. This has got to be frustrating at this point. Let's see if he decides to cut his losses and take the walk of shame that Reku did last run, or if he's going to try the launch again. No, it looks like he's going to try this launch once more. Meanwhile, lepelog finishing up with the Koga fight. No, missed it again. Yep, so it looks like he's going to be taking the Walk of Shame over to the area that he needs to get to. Quite a time loss, especially since he tried it 4 times. And lepelog is going to be making his way over to Gerudo Town, where he'll be giving in the Thunder Helm, cooking some bananas, and then making his way to the Enter Vendiboris section. Alright. So FlameINN's now just coming up on his shield that he'll be grabbing, and then the Sand Seal to make his way over to Gerudo Town. Meanwhile, it looks like lepelog is going to be grabbing that Thunder Helm. Okay, so FlameINN is just approaching Gerudo Town now. We're probably looking at between a 7 to 10 minute difference. Alright, lepelog is cooking those bananas for some extra attack plus. That's going to come especially useful in this next blight fight, simply because it's such a hard blight to do, especially if you don't one-cycle him. He'll start busting out moves that are quite unfair, that can potentially lead to deaths. Another very interesting thing we're going to see here is whether or not FlameINN and lepelog are going to be choosing to use the old routing of Vendiboris or the new faster routing, which will save approximately 10 to 15 seconds as well. There's recently been updates for the routing of Vendiboris. Some new ways to getting around it have been found so that they can get it done much more quickly than previous. Okay, so it looks like lepelog is going to be going for the old route. Thank you, lepelog. Yeah, I personally, just for consistency's sake, I use the old routing on my runs as well, just because of all the things that go into it. I don't want to mess up and end up losing time. So I personally still use the old routing as well.
Hinterher!
Let's see how many bomb arrows lepelog has to segment. Normally, you don't have to give up too many more than what's required, just because the aiming part of this segment is fairly easy. Although you are on a sand seal, and sometimes Vonneborst can be a little bit tricky with those thunder shots. So we'll see how lepelog does this segment. FlameINN's just entering the throne room for the first time now. lepelog backing off a little bit to get protected from that shot, and he'll be doing his shots right now. Ladies and gentlemen, usually it should only take 4 shots. Let's count it off. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Beautifully done. Excellently executed. Very, very good lepelog. Getting those shots done quickly, economically, so that he's got all the bomb arrows he needs for his future fights. Yeah, I don't think I've ever done a Enter Naboris quite that smoothly.
Oh,
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, lepelog actually is placed in the All Dungeons speedrun.com records. He's currently at 17th place, if I'm not mistaken, which honestly is still very, very good. And I'm not sure if FlameINN has submitted a run just yet. However, I do know that he does actively run All Dungeons as well.
Rivalis Sturm ist bereit!
And again, if we see FlameINN doing the old routing as well, we're not see any variation on how the Divine Beast is done. However, again, probably the most RNG heavy Divine Beast of the entire game is coming up here in this section.
Noch 4 Kon...
Oh, and it looks like FlameINN takes a death there from those snipers. They are brutal if you aren't very, very careful. So that's going to be a little bit of time lost there. See how far back the game puts him. Hopefully not too far. Again, would hate to lose that much more time. So let's see what the damage is. Oh, and it looks like it took him all the way to the bottom of that hill there. This time without any sand seal, so it's going to be quite a trek for him going uphill since he doesn't have a sand seal with him. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. Well, I would definitely be feeling salty right about now. Meanwhile, lepelog is going to perform a trick that I don't even try. I do this area just slightly differently. I allow the electric rolling plates to do the electric work for me rather than my own arrows, but it looks like he's going to shoot. Oh, and he gets it no problem, first try. Oh, but he misses the platform. Oh no. So he's going to be doing another try on this again. Oh, he misses the shot the second time. Losing a little bit of time here with this one. This is a tough one to get. Nope, misses the shot the third time. And oh, looks like FlameINN takes another death there. Ooh, this is not going well for either one of them right now. Both experiencing some serious time losses here. lepelog's going to jump up, try his third shot. Fourth shot, I should say. Nope, doesn't get it again. My goodness, what is happening with those shots? Because it seems like they're connecting just fine, but for some reason it's not registered. Oh, he gets a little bit too far, goes on the other side, but that's fine. Climbs up again, no problem. Oh, he climbs too far again. Man, now he can't even get up on the platform. Meanwhile, FlameINN doing another walk of shame up. Nope, doesn't connect for a fifth time actually. Oop, careful not to get off that platform. Alright. Nope, still not enough. Oh, and he falls all the way down, so he's gonna have to run all the way back to the platform. Yeah, it looks like he's just gonna take the elevator up, doing the safe strats. Oh, that's unfortunate for him. Both of them some serious time losses here. FlameINN's gonna be making his way back up over to the Yiga clan hideout. Hopefully he doesn't die. Yep, and here comes the elevator for lepelog. FlameINN strategically dodging them arrows. Ooh, here comes the electric keys. Oh, and he's got... Oh, the electric keys and the moblins came. It seems like everyone was trying so hard to make sure he doesn't get into that Yiga clan hideout. That's unfortunate RNG for him. That's really bad. Man, FlameINN having such a hard time getting up to that Yiga clan hideout. I feel bad for him. Now, this is not going well at all for either runner. lepelog is having a really, really bad Naboris segment, and FlameINN just can't get in that Eagle hideout to save his life. It seems like every single monster in Ganon's employ is just doing everything they can to keep him out. lepelog was finally able to get it figured out. He just saved strat the vanilla way, so he's got the last shrine here, or the last terminal here, and now we have the Thunderblight boss. Again, I can't stress how hard this can be for most runners, myself included, to get this fight right. Any little deviation from the path, any slight mistake can cause the Thunderblight RNG to take effect and really screw you over royally.
Er ist blitzschnell. Verlier ihn nicht aus den Augen.
Alright, we're entering here. Hopefully he's able to get it without any problems. Like he's in the hideout, but this isn't the end. He's still got a lot of these snipers tailing him. Meanwhile, lepelog's able to one-cycle that Thunderblight, no problem. Excellently executed there. Here comes phase 2. FlameINN's still dodging, still running, still shooting. Oh, and he takes another death. Oh man, so close. He was so close to getting there, and then he just missed it. Take a little too long to get that fire arrow. Ooh, not quite where you want the Thunderblight to be. Oh, but he gets it anyways. He's able to get those shots off from that top platform. Very, very good adaptation by lepelog. Does a little jump for joy there at the end. Meanwhile, FlameINN's approaching the Yiga Clan hideout again. Hopefully he can get in this time. Alright. Burns down that. Okay, he's in. Looks like he is in the Yiga Clan hideout. Good, good. Hopefully no hitches from here on out with the hideout. lepelog just finishing up with Naboris, grabbing that Urbosa's Fury. Man, that was tough for both runners. Alright, now lepelog's going to be making his way over to Hyrule Castle, I believe, and he's going to be attempting probably one of the most hated and most loved strats in the entire All Dungeons run. That is the flying machine, aka the cheat machine. And FlameINN entering the Koga fight now. Will barely gets in through that little crack. I didn't think he'd be able to make it through. Now, the very hardest thing about this cheat machine is, honestly, just getting set up. Because, honestly, Flying Machine can screw you over in many different ways. It can screw you over in just the setup for this first part here with the box. It can screw you over lifting with the box. It can screw you over while you're trying to fly over to the second flying machine. And then after the second flying machine, it's a little bit more smooth sailing, but still a lot of chances for getting messed up. Alright, FlameINN's doing his Koga fight, no problem there, obviously. Lepelog encountering the first problem, and that's getting the box out of the cave and close to the water's edge, where he can then cryonicate up onto the flying machine. Very well executed. Now for the fun part. He's going up. Doesn't seem to be having any issues. He's nice and steady. A little bit of shakiness as he was approaching the top part. Looks like he's got it nice and good and steady here. And forward he goes. Got a good angle, good directionality on that flying machine. Meanwhile, FlameINN still just finishing up here with the Koga fight. We're going to see a massive, unskippable cutscene from him. Whoops, not sure what happened there, but it looks like he dropped down. Oh, and it looks like he's just going to reload and try again. He may have lost his grip on it, or it may have just dropped from his hands, or maybe he intentionally wanted to do that, but it fell at the wrong location. That's going to be about a minute off him. Starting with the setup again. Box didn't get broken. That's good, because the box can break on the way to that set. Alright. Box is nice and level on the flying machine. FlameINN grabbing his Thunder Helm. He's going to heading back to the Gerudo. Up Lepelog goes again. He's able to get the height without any problem. Little bit of shakiness here. Little bit of shakiness still. But it looks like he's getting his movement done, no problem. Oh, he's being aimed at. Hopefully he can dodge the bullets. Two of them aiming at him. Ooh, dodged another one. Making his way down to the descent. Ooh, that is a great location for him to stop at. Not a single runner would complain about that. So phase 1 is all in all a decent success. He's going to be making his way down now, setting up this first one, then going into the cave to grab the second one. Meanwhile, FlameINN is grabbing some arrows needed for his Veruda. Going to be doing some cooking. Then heading to the Entonovorus fight. And he's got a lot of things shooting at him. You might want to take care of those first, but nope, it looks like he just ignores it, keeps on going. And he has the full version, the final version of the flying machine now, which is a lot easier to maneuver than the flying machine with just the box. Yep, congratulations to Lepelog. He got the flying machine. However, it is not over until it is over. So now he makes his way over to Death Mountain now. Honestly, second try flying machine is not bad at all. It is very, very good, as a matter of fact. Still going to manage to save a little bit of time over the normal strike. It looks like lepelog's going to start taking some fire damage, unless he's got a plan as far as food goes. You might want to execute it very quickly here. Oh, there we are. Looks like he's got his food down, so he's got a little bit of extra time on his hand. But he's approaching the Goron area right now, so no problems there. So it looks like Flying Machine Part 1 overall a success for lepelog. Congratulations. Like I said, even though he failed it the first time, still overall gets a little bit of a time save from it. Now he's going to be making his way over to see if he can get some clothes for Link, because Link is definitely going to burn to death. There we are. Meanwhile, FlameINN's going to be doing his enter segment right now. I know he has practiced this quite a lot since he was having trouble with it previously. So let's see if we can see the reflections of the improvements and practice here. Now, I wonder if lepelog is going to be trying to do the pot launch on the shrine. That's one of the launches that I don't see runners attempting very often. I remember in the previous race, I believe it was, oh darn, who was it that attempted? I believe it was Rekiu who attempted to launch but failed. But it's a launch that saves quite a few seconds off of your normal time if done correctly. So we'll see if he just runs right by the shrine or if he's going to attempt the pot launch here. He's activating the shrine. Nope, walking right by it. Not even going to try. Probably very smart on lepelog's part. So he's just going to be running through the cave, or not the cave. He's going to be running through the mines right now. Looks like he does an early Revali's Gale to get a little bit of height, avoid some of those enemies. Meanwhile, FlameINN just starting that Vonaboris section, enter Vonaboris. Let's see if he can have just as smooth of a enter Vonaboris as lepelog did. Burning another Revali's Gale. There's one shot, there's two shots, there's three, there's four, there's a fifth one, oh, there's a sixth one, and there's a seventh. So it looks like 7 shots, 3 more than he would have wanted to. So he'll have a little bit fewer arrows than he would have liked. Meanwhile, lepelog getting to the favorite character of all of us speedrunners. Words cannot describe how much we love Yunobo. Really just super well designed character. Glows deeply within all our hearts. Lepelog grabbing some very much needed items here. Looks like he's not going for the hammers. Probably best. A little bit of a time save and doesn't really need them. As a hundo runner, I just take them out of habit because I do a lot of launches. It looks like he's not even going to try and do a launch strat back to that shrine. He's just going to teleport right back to it. Save a little bit of time for him, just in case he were to make a mistake. Probably safest. He's got no need to do any risky strats right now, so he's just going to play it safe. So we're going to see a cutscene from Lepelog while FlameINN begins his Vonneboris. Yep, and it looks like FlameINN is opting to doing the old route as well. Oh, looks like jump, so that's going to be a little bit of time loss right there. Just because he's going to have to rotate the body of Naboris once more. And then Lepelog is now going to be activating this shrine here and then setting up for his next flying machine. And there it is right there. This one's a little bit easier to set up than the first one. No box strat is needed. You just ride the flying machine on the rails. And there's the second one waiting for you right there. Again, still a very hard strat, even with both flying machines to accomplish. Let's wish him the best of luck. Now he approaches that first shrine he needs to activate. And then he'll be making his way over to Zora's domain. Very nice flying, no problems whatsoever. So far, so good. Oh, careful not to hit that side mountain. Meanwhile, FlameINN still going strong. He's going to now attempt to do this little skip that Lepelog was having such a hard time at. This will be a good spot for him to make up for some of the time that he lost. Good opportunity right here. Oh, looks like he missed it. So he's going to be doing some more spinning around. Meanwhile, Lepelog just cruising his way across Hyrule to Zora's domain. Ooh, looks like a very unfortunate fall there for FlameINN. I'm not quite sure what happened. So he's going to be voiding out and reappearing up top. Let's see what he decides to do in response. Meanwhile, lepelog is approaching Zora's domain now. Oh, and it looks like no one's at the throne room right now, so we're going to have to come back later when everyone's there. Oh, there they are. They probably all just have to use the little boy's room, but they're back now. Yeah, sometimes speedrunners are so good at speedrunning that they go faster than the game. Ooh, very tight squeeze for FlameINN, but was able to make it through problems. So he'll be approaching the final terminal and then the Thunderblight boss. Looks like he opts to get the chest that lepelog skipped. Doesn't even have room for it. Yep, just lets it go. Doesn't even try getting it a second time. Precious frames lost. Ooh, that's a bad hit that FlameINN took from the Thunderblight. Oh, on the second hit, that's the first death there. That's an unfortunate death there. So FlameINN's going to be attempting the Thunderblight a second time. Yeah, Thunderblight is a tricky little minx if you don't do it exactly right. I remember there was one time that I tried attempting to kill the Thunderblight in Ganon's castle, and I ended up being there for 45 minutes just dying over and over and over again by the same Thunderblight. Okay, good hits. Oh, and he shot himself. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, right as he was falling, he ended up shooting himself and took a death there again. Lepelog still going through the cutscenes, meanwhile. This is probably the largest segment of cutscenes in the entire run. Meanwhile, FlameINN is approaching the final terminal again. He's going to take a third stab at this Thunderblight. Hopefully he doesn't have any issues this time. Ooh, and he was able to get a clutch shot just in time and get him over to the second phase. Wow, that was close, close, close. Far too close for comfort. But Thunderblight's in second phase now. Again, don't want to have any mistakes here because it can very, very quickly lead to a death. Very good. Oh, and he finishes the Thunderblight on the third try. Good going. Very, very nice. Meanwhile, Lepelog is done with all of his cutscenes. He's now approaching Sidon to begin the Enter Baruda segment. Gets the launch, no problem. So now he's at my favorite segment in the entire game, or at least in the entire run, which is the Enter Baruda. And let's see how proficiently you can get rid of these ice blocks. Very good. Very nice shot. Very nice shot. Good part one. Ooh, very, very nice ice blocks. Very good. He was able to get rid of all three of them. Any of them actually leaving Baruda. That's very, very tricky to do. You have to be very good at your aim and very quick on the draw. Very fast Baruda. Wow, that was impressive. Meanwhile, FlameINN just teleported back to the first stable that he went to. He's going to make the ride now over to the Varudanya beginning segment, where he first saves Yunobo, and then he's going to be heading back towards Varuda. Now, very, very smooth fight. Honestly, I don't think a runner could ask for more. And as far as I know, I don't think the routing for Varuda has changed anytime recently. They will be seeing the same sequence of terminals that we've been seeing for a while in this All Dungeons run. But it's solid, it's fast, and honestly, it's very simple. We will see if Lepelog is able to get the one cycle on that final terminal. Meanwhile, FlameINN's still making his way to the shrine.
Die Karte.
Wow, very, very clean. I don't think I've ever seen someone turn that gear that quickly. That was actually extremely impressive. Wow. I'm going to definitely have to ask him about how he was able to accomplish that, because I actually have never seen that before. Oh, looks like FlameINN's having a little bit of difficulty sections. Very hard to maneuver the horse around this port. Especially when you've got things shooting at you, you've got the Zolfos to avoid, and a horse that's just not quite cooperative. It looks like he's able to get to the cutscene skip here. Oh, takes a dive into the water, a little bit refreshing for Link, maybe wakes him up. Lepelog's able to get this first section done correctly. Able to get that second part done. Okay, he's got the third part done. Oh, I see. He uses it with the motion controls. That's interesting. Yeah, because everyone playing on the Wii U, myself included, I don't think I've seen it done that quickly. They always have to use the Wii U control, and it's always a little bit frustrating because it doesn't quite turn as smoothly as you want it to. Alright, FlameINN is now approaching that shrine that he wanted to get to. Buying solutions, activating the shrine, doing everything that he needs to in order to continue on to the first section of Barudania. Lepelog just finishing up with Maruta now. He will be entering the Water Blight fight. He's still got those bananas he cooked, so it'll be a little bit easier and quicker for him to kill the Water Blight. See if he can one cycle. Very nice one cycle. Not quite the positioning he was looking for. He might end up in the water. I didn't quite check his feet, though. Oh, and FlameINN actually entered the shrine when he really didn't have to. I wonder if he forgot that he doesn't actually have to do these shrines. He just has to... Oh! Very, very close. Oh, and he ended up diving rather than actually doing his flurry time. So Lepelog's gonna have to two-cycle here. There's a hit. And there's the death. Very, very nice on lepelog's part. A little bit of a choke when he was trying to get that second phase, but no worries whatsoever. Got done with it, no problem. Looks like he's skipping the heart piece to save time. I wonder if he feels a little bit behind at this point. Meanwhile, FlameINN is making his way up Death Mountain. Let's see how he does in dodging this Guardian here. This is probably one of the harder sections as far as dodging a Guardian, just because he has such a straight shot at you, and there's not really a lot of room to maneuver like there is in Hyrule Field, but we'll see how he does. Ooh, nice. Got the headshot. Stunned the Guardian. Ooh, the horse hit the side, though. You might not want that to happen. Oh, and the Guardian is recovered. Looks like he's making his run for it. Will he be able to dodge it? Ooh, first dodge. He's running. Here comes the Guardian shot. Oh, second dodge. Kind of hit him, grazed him, but he's still able to keep going. Ooh, third dodge. Again, grazed him just a little with the fire. And it looks like he is home free. Very, very nice execution in a very clutch moment. Wow, that was impressive. Alright, now lepelog is entering probably the easiest part of the entire run. No real execution needed here, no real strategy. You know, not a lot of places where RNG can do you wrong. The AIs are just on point. So we're going to see him just breeze through this. No, but seriously, guys, this is a really hard part. Oh, FlameINN ran out of energy there, just trying to make his climb up, so he's going to have to run around. A little bit of a time loss there. And here we have the Enter Rudania section. Again, I cannot stress how many things can go wrong at this point. And a lot of them have very little to do with the actual airships. They all mostly have to do with the AI you're escorting, which is Yunobo. You can get stuck on a rock, you can run the wrong direction and get caught. You can just not come, period. Meanwhile, FlameINN's still scaling his mountains to get to that area that he needs to start the beginning part of the Rudania. Yeah, this escort mission is probably the thorn in every single all dungeon runner's boot. In fact, while we're talking about all dungeons, might as well say all runners, because if you're doing AMQ, all dungeons, I believe they skip it with all shrines. It's not necessary to do all shrines. 100%. Looks like he didn't get the rock hit on that first strat, so he's going to be running up the hill and he's going to be doing the boulder strat. Meanwhile, FlameINN makes his way to the Goron City finally. So he'll be purchasing some pants, maybe a shirt, and then saving Unobo.
Alles dreht sich. Hier geblieben.
So far, so good on this escort mission, although the hard part is still just coming up. Looks like he's opting to not save his boulder. Or not his boulder, sorry, his cube. So he won't be able to use it on the moblins. Yep, it looks like he's going to be using good old shock arrows on those moblins. There's the first one down. And then the next cannon's going to have 2 of them. Meanwhile, FlameINN is going to opt to not do the water jug strat. He's just going to run through the entire mine area manually. Which again, probably a little bit smarter to do. Oh, run out of energy again.
Sturm ist bereit.
So far, so good on lepelog's side. Doing really, really well with this escort mission. FlameINN's just rescuing Unobo now. Where it gets a little tricky. Well, looks like he was able to get there fairly quickly. Kills 1. Kills 2. And this time he will be saving the block for that fight with the moblin. Or maybe not. Looks like he just left it. Nope, looks like he didn't mean to leave it. It fell, and so he's going to be grabbing another one. FlameINN is going to be teleporting back now to the Goron City. Going to be cashing in those 3 potions that the Goron Chief is going to give him. Meanwhile, Lepelog finishes the escort mission very, very good. No problems, no hiccups whatsoever. All in all, solid escort. Okay, and then FlameINN now, after this cutscene, he's going to be teleporting back to the stable where he'll be doing the, rather than the flying machine, he's going to be doing the box strat up to the Ruta area, and he'll begin Zora's Domain cutscene. So at this point, unless there are some major mistakes that happen between now and the end of the game, it looks like Lepelog's got a fairly big lead over FlameINN. However, again, like I said, we have seen turnarounds. Looks like he's, oh, there we go. It looks like he's having a little bit of that shot, but he was able to get it off second time, no problem. These dark shots are one of the things that get me every single time, is shooting in the dark without having the light, having to get those blue flame torches lit as quickly as possible. Oh, lights that one, no problem, first try. He's able to get the box down first try as well. Doesn't quite get that shot. Gonna go for a second attempt with that shot. There we go. Second try, got the shot off, was able to light that flame. Meanwhile, FlameINN doing his first tree launch that he can get over to the Ruta area. Oh, having a little bit of trouble. Oh, and he missed the launch. Looks like he accidentally bent down and started crouching, and that interrupted with his climbing back up on the tree. So we're gonna try it a second try.
Gut, sieh mal. Ihn zurück. Ich verlasse.
Looks like second try, he was able to get it a little bit off to the left for him, but take it nonetheless. Lepelog was able to get that extremely tricky shot without any problems whatsoever. Very good. That last blue flame shot that knocks to the side of the wall is probably one of the more difficult ones. FlameINN now attempting his second launch. And it looks like he gets the launch, no problems. A little bit far to the right, but he's still able to get up. Very nicely done on FlameINN's side, so he's going to be making his way now to Zora's Domain. Meanwhile, Lepelog is completing his third, and now moving on to his fourth terminal.
Noch ein Kon...
Now he's finishing up with his final terminal here, and then making his way over to his last blight fight.
Sauber. Siehst du auf dein... Aber bleib... Nimm dich von diesem riesigen Schwert in...
Wow, very, very quick one cycle there for lepelog. Able to get all those ice arrows, every single one a headshot. Very, very well executed. Well done.
Pass auf seine Feuerbälle auf. Die sind brandgefährlich.
Ich beschütze dich.
Great one cycle again for lepelog. 2 one cycles in a row. Really, really smooth fire blight fight. Good job. Passes by that heart piece, doesn't think he's going to need it. All right, meanwhile, FlameINN is still going through all those cutscenes of Zora's Domain. Again, cutscene heavy segment of the entire All Dungeons run is right here in Zora's Domain, just one after the other. So now lepelog is going to be teleporting to that shrine that he activated right next to Ganon's castle, or to Hyrule Castle rather,
Link,
and he will be finishing off with the final boss fight.
du hast alle Titanen zurückerobert und die Seelen der Recken erlöst. Sie werden bereit sein, wenn du in Schloss Hyrule gegen Ganon kämpfst. Und ich warte auch auf dich.
Alright, now lepelog is making his way to Hyrule Castle. Let's see how quickly and with how many few clutches he can make this climb here. And a little bit of a slip there, but it looks like he's still going to be able to make it without any problems where he needs to get. Again, he just wants to start waterfall climbing up these sides here so he can make his way to Ganon's castle without encountering any of those pesky guardians. fell off a little bit too late, or a little bit too early rather, for the too far away from it, so he's gonna have to go up again. Oh, he fails it a second time. Ouch. There we go, third time's the charm. He's able to get up that second waterfall. And now the third. Oh, we did a little bit of climbing on the other side of the water. He's going to drop a little early stamina as he runs to that fourth waterfall. Well, looks like he's not going for the waterfall, however. Looks like he's going to be going up the side of the wall instead. Meanwhile, FlameINN makes his way up to the Enter Varuda fight. Great launch up the dam, no problems whatsoever. Lepelog entering the Sanctum now. Ooh, just nicked him. Luckily, it didn't do that much damage, so he's still going to be able to make his way into the Sanctum, no problem. FlameINN just starting the Enter Varuda segment. Now we'll see this Ganon fight. Burns one of Droop's protections. Goes collecting for bomb arrows. Whoop. Just dodges that slice. Forgets that he has his bananas, but he finally downs those. Grabs a sword. Ooh, just dodges that attack. Still just trying to get as many headshots as he can. Not really doing too good of a job, but he's getting a couple here and there. There's Ganon phase 2. Oh, and it looks like FlameINN is going to have to do another sequence here for those ice blocks, since he's having a hard time getting them. Lepelog getting that flurry rush fantastically. Just a little bit more damage to go, and he'll have it in the bag. He is out of air, or he's out of Urbosa's Fury, so he's going to have to find another way to go about this. Shoots that fireball expertly. He's just waiting. There we are. That's what he's waiting. Very nice hits. And that will finish off Ganon. Meanwhile, FlameINN going up for his final round of the Enter Ruda. Took a little bit longer than he wanted it to, but that's alright. Still in the game. Still keeping his chin up. Very nice job on that. Calamity Ganon now for dealing with Beast Ganon. Firing some early shots there to stick it to Ganon as much as he can. Meanwhile, FlameINN enters Ruda. Ooh, no one wants that happening. Having a hard time with that last leg. Oh, there he goes. He got it. Took a little bit longer. He was at a weird angle and a little bit too far away. He's taking no chances at this point. Being as safe as possible.
Jetzt schnell!
Very nice 3-shot. No problems whatsoever there.
Windet sich vor Schmerzen.
But again, his angle was much better than the first time around. Now all he needs is the belly shot and the eye shot.
Die leuchtende Stelle.
Very nice belly shot.
Nur noch ein bisschen. Dann haben
FlameINN having those gear problems I was telling you about earlier. And he's able to get that up. Ooh.
Sie nur.
Looks like he's killing his horse before he finishes the game. Some style points there.
Das ist Link. Streck ihn.
And lepelog finishing with an official SRL time of 2:29:35. GG to lepelog. Very, very solid run. Despite a few mistakes here and there around the beginning, honestly, very, very fluid. Very good displays of skill there. Meanwhile, FlameINN is doing his Bruta segment still. Looks like he's approaching the second terminal. Let's see if we can get lepelog in for an interview. It looks like FlameINN's just doing his 4th and 5th of those terminals. Oop, ends up jumping over, but he's still able to get the terminal on the inside. Ooh, a little bit of a difficulty there with that last part. Hey, lepelog.
Hello.
GG, my friend.
Thanks for the very nice commentary.
Oh, thank you. It was my
Liked it a
pleasure.
lot.
Yeah, great, solid game that you had there.
Nah, I had some sloppy parts, but
Yeah, no, honestly, it was really, really good.
I'm okay with it. I mean, sub 230 is okay.
Yeah,
For me at least.
honestly, for now anyways, you've got the best time that we've seen in this tournament, so that's saying something.
Oh, I actually haven't seen the other races.
Yeah, we have, I think the second best after that was Rekyu's time with a 2:45, and then Orchestra got a 3:03, so you're right up there.
Nice. Yeah, but I've run this category for a long time. I mean, it was the category I started with, like,
Oh, okay, I didn't
I
actually know
don't know
that.
how much month ago.
Yeah, I didn't know this was the category that you actually started. Gives you a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah, kind of. It was
So,
always like an on and off. I ran this category, then stopped it for a couple of months, and I did not do that many runs actually. But yeah,
yeah, but no, honestly, as far as this run went, despite the very, very small mistakes that were made, it was a really solid run. I mean, you had that one death to Cryo when you
yeah,
missed the jump. You did the new plateau, which kind of made up for it because your plateau rockets were on point. The first and second tree rockets were absolutely spectacular.
that's actually the best I've ever done with these launches.
Yeah, I was going to say I've attempted multiple times to get good new routing on the plateau, and it's those two launches that I always screw up on. So very good job on those.
Yeah, thanks.
Another thing that I noticed is that one of the bigger problems that runners have, especially with this category, is those launches to Rito. And you were able to get both of those launches. The first one at the stable, you got no problem whatsoever, despite having a little bit of difficulty jumping onto it at the last minute.
Yeah, that
I
was a little
would
bit sketchy.
That was very clutch. I had I didn't think you were gonna make it in the beginning, to be honest. And then you were
Yeah,
able to jump onto it last second, and not only did you get it, but you got it at
sometimes these the trees are not really friendly. I mean, it should be easy to jump on them. I mean, Link can jump high enough, but sometimes he does not want to.
right, right. Yeah, and you were able to get it, and you were able to get it so high that you actually didn't need to use the updraft to get to the higher platform. You were high enough that you
Yeah,
just glide right to it. I never saw that before.
I mean, you can do that more consistently with the smaller tree I used, because that's more near to Rito.
Oh, okay. So since it's closer to Rito, you actually get the better height.
Yeah,
That's good to know. Um, let's see, you did end up failing that horse launch in the very beginning of the plateau, but actually, with how small of a time save it is, that 3 speed horse that you got right off the plateau was just as good.
yeah.
Especially
It was
since you
just
weren't
like, okay, I attempted one time, and if I fail, then I go for the safe route.
yeah, and
And
since you're
that's
using flying machine, it's not too big of a deal.
yes. I mean, if it would have been still faster to reload and get the 4-speed horse, I think, but not by that much. So it's not worth it to try it a second time,
Right. Yeah,
especially
and
with flying machine.
exactly, especially with flying machine. And the fact that you got flying machine with just that one small hiccup in the beginning was absolutely fantastic. You know,
Yeah,
I'm not
I
sure
mean
quite what happened.
I think the flying machine turned too much, so it lost connection. I think Link started sliding. I'm not sure. It was weird. When it happened, I was like, yeah, that should not have happened, but kind of
Right, and
makes
that's what I was
sense.
saying because it seemed like it was steady. It seems like it had control of it, and then all of a sudden he just stops magnesis. And I'm like, wait, what
Yeah,
just happened there?
that
But you
was
got it the
unexpected.
second. Well, and you got it the second try. You recovered. Second flying machine, no problem. Flying machine part 3 in Elden Mountains, no problem whatsoever. So
Yeah. I mean, the normal flying machine is not that hard, actually. Only the box flying machine can be a little bit tricky. I mean, the
right.
flying machine itself little bit tricky too, but it's not that hard to get it down. The really hard part is the box flying machine. To get that consistent, it took me like ages to get that.
Right. Well, and I wanted to talk to you about just how great of a Unobo escort you had, but before I get to that, I need to address that Naboris that you had, that third terminal on the head of Naboris, just not being able to get that shot off and then having so much trouble climbing back on.
I don't know what happened there, actually. It should have worked, but...
Well, and we saw, I mean, we can attest here in the chat and watching the screen, we saw it hit almost every single time it hit the bulb without fail, and it just didn't register it for some reason.
Yeah. I mean, I've done that already, failing the first shot and doing the same backup that I just did, and it worked perfectly for me. So something might have been different, but I don't get what.
Yeah, and then like that was really frustrating on my part because I was watching it and I was getting it. He's actually getting it. Come on, Naboris, register that he's getting it. And it just didn't. It didn't register.
Yeah.
But everything after that was smooth. Your Thunderblight fight was good. I know that FlameINN had a little bit of trouble with his Thunderblight fight. I think he died twice on it.
Yeah, when I saw that Thunderblight is so high up in the second phase, I was just like, oh, well, I screwed up.
He got up on that ledge where he fell. Now, no, there's no way to shoot that. And
but
then
luckily
he
was very, very close to falling down, so I could shoot his head.
Yeah, those were impressive shots, my man. Those were absolutely impressive shots.
I mean, sometimes he falls somewhere where you can't reach him with the bow, and yeah, then you're just screwed up.
Yeah, and then you have to wait for the second cycle, but
yeah,
second cycle Thunderblight is very risky.
Yeah, and it's more than one run has died to that.
Oh yeah, more than
for
one
me
run has died
to
that. Speaking of places where runs died, that Unobo escort was phenomenal, my man. That was absolutely phenomenal. Everything that could have gone wrong just didn't.
Nah, that's not true. I failed this boulder launch to hit this one thingy.
I don't think
I also lost the box for no reason.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you did lose the box.
I don't know why that fell down, actually.
I don't know.
It just despawned, because it was laying very stable, in my opinion. And then it suddenly wasn't there anymore.
Right.
So next time I will just not get it out of sight, I think.
Well, and we could hear in the chat, you can hear it just slowly inching down and like creeping down the cliff. So I think it might have just let go. Yeah, we could definitely hear on our end that it was just kind of like creeping down. And I think I even commented, I was like, that boulder's slipping, that boulder's slipping. And then you turned around and it was gone. And so we thought, yep, it must have fallen. But yeah, other than that, like I said, Unobo didn't choke, he didn't get stuck, he didn't have any problems. The Moblins were friendly as far as RNG goes. And as far as that rock launch to the first one, that rock stasis, I don't think I've seen anyone get that correctly. I've seen a lot of people try it, but I don't think I've ever seen that actually done right, where it actually hits him.
I've done that a couple of times. It's not. I'm actually not sure what the correct angle is, so I have to look into that.
It's probably very, very precise, the angle that you have to get so that it bounces up and hits him.
But you can. But I think I just need to develop a visual cue, and then it should be easy.
Well, especially now that you're going to be progressing into the race.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, that's right. You got other races coming up. You got. Let me see here. I don't think it's official who you're going to be running against yet, since the only run that we've had was the prelim. But it looks like. Let me see here if I can pull up our tournament brackets. Here we are. So yeah, it looks like since you are going to be progressing, you're going to be going against beats or whoever wins between El Tweak and Harmjan.
Oh yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Like, if you were to give us your prediction on that race, who do you think was going to come out on top?
Out of all racers, or just this one match?
Just out of this match, who do you think you're going to end up having to go against?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen Harmjan's runs, to be honest.
Yeah, I do know he's a little bit greener, a little bit more new as far as these speedruns are concerned. I do know El Tweak, and I do know El Tweak is very, very good at his all dungeons runs, since he, just like you, has a lot of all dungeons experience. He comes from a background where he used to do those.
Guess, then I would guess him, and then if I'm to predict the next match, then I would say that El Tweak will win, because he is actually the better time than me.
Oh, okay.
By some seconds, I think.
Well, anything can happen. Any mistakes can be made.
Yeah.
You know, it's that's the great thing about these tournaments, is you don't know who's going to win until the run actually gets there. I mean, look at the last matchup. You know, Orchestra going up against Recu. I mean, not a lot of people would have taken Recu as the one coming out on top yet.
Orchestra, yeah, I should probably rewatch that match.
It was a great, great match. Honestly, I highly recommend it. Very, very close in the beginning, and then they separated a little bit at the end.
Just, I like how Trick said that he got a big PB today.
He did get a big PB today on his. So this is going to be even more clutch, even more of a reason for you to get in there and start practicing yours.
Yeah, I have to definitely do that.
But hey, man, it was great having you in here. Great run again, GG. Thank you so much for showing that great display of skill. Like, honestly, I don't think I've seen an all dungeons run go that smoothly since before El Tweak switched over to AMQ.
Yeah, so let's see how the other races go.
Yeah, let's see how the other races go. Let's see how yours go coming forward. Really excited to see you. Anyone who hasn't already, be sure to give lepelog a follow. Great racer, really, really great entertainer. Man, thank you so much for being here today.
Always a pleasure.
You take care. All right, we're going to be getting back here. It looks like FlameINN just completed his escort mission. I'm wondering if we can get some sound on his feed here. He said he was okay with it. I want to see if we can have our techs here change the sound over so that we can actually hear what's going on in his game.
I think he said he had mic on.
Oh, he does have a mic on?
I think.
Then we might just have them go back to yours, or we'll just have some Breath of the Wild OST up in here.
Oh, some Breath of the Wild OST would be really cool.
Oh, never mind. Looks like we've got FlameINN's mic here. Good. So we'll be hearing to see what he's doing. But yeah, it looks like he has his mic on, so I'm not sure if we're going to be hearing him. Okay. Oh, never mind. It looks like he didn't get the escort mission done. Now he's at the... Okay, it looked like he had just finished with the second shot, so now he's approaching the third shot. And so far, so good. He's able to weave past that first one. I think he's missing one, if I'm not mistaken. He killed one of the Guardian sentries, but I think he's actually missing one, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's missing one right there. Wonder if he's going to have to climb back up. Oh, nope, looks like Unova was able to follow. Either that or Unova was very forgiving. And he is going to use the box to deal with these moblins here.
It's actually funny how overpowered this box is.
Oh, I
You
know,
can kill
right?
these guys in one hit.
Assuming you hit him the right way, it looks like he's having a little bit of difficulty. Oh, no, you got him. There we go. So as far as the time is concerned, I'm not sure how exactly FlameINN is going to fare all the way through. I've never actually seen him complete Varudanya before, so it will be a little bit tricky to see how he completes it. That's actually one of the questions I had to ask you, since you just pointed it out. Most of the runners, at least the two runners from yesterday, or not yesterday, but a few days back, Orchestra and Reku, both got that heart piece. Now, I know that you are accustomed to doing the all dungeons run that typically doesn't get the heart piece. Were you thinking you were going to need it? You were thinking, no, I know that I'm comfortable with it. I'm just going to leave those heart pieces alone. What exactly was going through your mind there?
I never pick up the heart piece.
Okay.
I only pick up the heart piece in Meadow, because right after that there are 2 launches which deal a total of 3 damage, so I don't have to heal myself.
Ah, gotcha.
And
kind of save yourself from the heal.
I'm totally fine with 4 hearts for the entire run.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't have a single death afterwards. Not that I can remember.
Yeah. And also I've still some food left actually. So I could have dealt with a little bit of damage. But the hard containers in the late game are actually, I mean, in the last 2 dungeons are actually not really important, because after that there's not really something coming up which take a lot of damage. I mean, most stasis launches are for getting to Ramedo.
I gotcha. Now, since this is the topic of a lot of conversation, a lot of controversy, and a lot of people are talking about it, I wanted to get your opinion as an all dungeons runner, a veteran one at that. What do you plan to see coming in on the all dungeons DLC run, potentially for runners who are accustomed to all dungeons, who are taking on all dungeons? Is that something that you're thinking of doing in the future? Is that something you're looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to the DLC dungeon. I think I want to actually run that category. I mean, in my opinion, it's a different category than the current all dungeons.
Oh, it's going to be a completely different run.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think that it's just going to be a straight out all dungeons with DLC at the end, but I'm not sure. I'm a little bit more skeptical about that. And I think with how much this dungeon has to offer and how much it requires of the runner, there might be a few surprises that need to be fitted in before they can actually attempt it.
Yeah. I mean, there are some side stuff you have to do, which is not that obvious, because you have to talk to Impa to activate the dragons. You have to activate some more shrines, so you can warp there.
That's true. You do need to talk to Impa, and so that's at least going to be added in.
Yeah, so I think it's a good flying machine for the new all dungeons.
Right. Well, especially because if you take the horse, you walk right by Kakariko Village in that swamp where you usually do the Fleet Lotus farming. When you're doing all shrines. And so if I were to wager where Kakariko were to be fitted in, I think it might be right there.
Yeah, I think that too. I mean, I did a kind of like test run. I was just thinking about like a route.
Already planning for the future. Already planning for it.
Of course. Because I love the DLC 2 stuff.
Oh yeah, and absolutely. I was pleasantly surprised with it.
I mean, you have still not gotten the DLC yet, right?
I have, and I finished it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the plan wasn't to get it, and then my wife surprised me, and then everyone in the chat said, "No, you can still do non-DLC runs even if you have DLC,
Yeah.
on your game." And I was like, "Oh, well, might as well then." So plans changed, but yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with the DLC. It's much longer than the first one, that's for sure.
Yes.
But I think the only category that's not going to be affected in that DLC versus non-DLC will stay the same is, of course, any percent.
I don't think all towers will change.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, while we're talking about the miscellaneous, yes, you are correct.
I have to do all towers again.
I haven't even thought about attempting all towers.
It's such a stupid category, because you just do flying machine all over the place.
Careful, you're gonna have a crosshairs of a sniper on your head, and the person on the other end of the sniper is more likely than not gonna wreck you.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Who
no,
needs all dark rewards when you can run all towers? Like, seriously.
No, but in all seriousness, I am really looking forward to future runs from you. Not even just races, just runs, because you seem very consistent in your strats. You're very good at what you do, especially when it comes to all dungeons.
Nah, I should practice more actually. But I take that.
But hey, speaking of problems, it looks like FlameINN was having quite a bit of difficulty getting that Rudania done. Couldn't quite get that shot off of the wall for the blue fire, so he's taking a trip around, and he ended up doing it the vanilla way.
Yeah, that shot can be really tricky, and I ended up really lucky because my arrow count was actually on point. I had 0 arrows left after
right there. I was even thinking about that. I thought, man, he's got one shot at this.
Yeah, I actually get 2 shots because I would have used an electric arrow for the other one.
That's true.
I could have afforded that, I think. I mean, I could have also used a bomb arrow. Because it's not that hot in Varudania, if I remember correctly.
Are you still allowed to use bomb arrows in Varudania? It's too hot, even in the Divine Beast, that it would blow up the bomb arrow.
I'm not sure. I think... No, in Varudania you can use them, but outside, no.
Oh, okay. Well, see, look, I learn something new every day.
I think I had to use that because I messed up and had no real arrows left.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, I was under the impression that even inside Varudania, it's too hot and they would immediately explode your arrows, which has happened to me a lot. I've been in the Death Mountain area, and then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna pull out my bomb arrows now, and
yeah. But if you look at the temperature, it's actually quite cold in Varudania.
Oh, that's true. Now that I notice it, it's actually a normal temperature in Varudania.
Yeah. All Divine Beasts have inside a... Oh no. Varmeadow has actually a cold area, but all other Divine Beasts are really normal temperatured. I don't know how to say that.
No, that's fine. Speaking of Varmeadow, you were smacking yourself on the back of the head when you that.
Oh yeah, Varmeadow is cold. I should remember that for the next time.
Well, because I was super excited. I was like, okay, he got bomb arrows. See if he can get only 8 shots, only 8 bomb arrows, and then all of a sudden death. I'm like, what? Wait, what just happened? And then I realized, oh, he forgot to eat his food.
And I was also on PB pace.
And he was on PB pace. I saw that. I was like, yeah, no. Other than that, like I said, from then on, it was really smooth. You only took 9 arrows to enter Varmeadow. You had a perfect chest launch to Naboris at the Cryonis Shrine, which I can never get that.
Yeah, I'm really happy that I got that, because that's normally a place where I have a lot of problems.
Yeah, that chest launch, like I was telling the entire chat, I cannot emphasize to you guys how hard this launch is and how frustrating it is to get right.
Yeah, I failed that in my PB too, so that was another time save. And I was just like, oh yeah, I can still PB, but no. I ended up making too many mistakes for a PB. But yeah,
but like I said,
I'm going to practice a little bit, practice every section, and have more fun with the game, and then I'm going to attempt the next race.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, like I said, when you've got runners of the caliber that are in this tournament race, like I said, we've got El Tweak in here. Lulu Core, I know, is practicing very, very hard this run. Reku was getting after himself about how poorly he did in this last run. I know that he normally, when he does an all dungeons run, gets a much better time. So we're going to see a lot of practice from him, a lot of practice from Lulu Core, 94, a lot of practice from you, and definitely, of course, El Tweak. So this is going to be a very, very interesting lineup, and it's going to be very exciting to see what exactly happens and who comes out on top.
Yeah. Well, that's actually cool to have, like, to be not sure who's gonna win.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if there would be just some person having the perfect time and being better than everyone by that much, then it would be really, really boring. But I think it's an interesting tournament.
And that was one of the things that I was a little bit skeptical about going into this tournament. I was like, oh no, like who's really, really good comes to the tournament and it just blows the whole thing out of proportions. What if Lollop enters? What if SVA enters? What if ATZ enters? And, it's going to be like, oh, well, we know who's going to win now, but I love how varied and how just kind of grouped together the runners are. And I mean, like, yours, for instance, you El Tweak, he's in 16th place, and you're in 17th place for the all
still in 16th?
He's still in 16th. At least it shows here he's still in 16th. So even with his PB...
Maybe he hasn't submitted his time.
Yeah, like I said, I think he might still be in 16th place. I don't know if he actually bumped Puppet, but regardless, it's still very, very close, your guys' times. And so it's going to be really, really fun to see, exactly what goes down and who comes out on top.
Yeah.
And so we've got FlameINN now, just finishing up with the Varudanya. So he's going to be making his way over to Ganon's Castle now, or I keep calling it Ganon's Castle. It's not Ganon's Castle in this game, it's just Hyrule Castle.
Well, it's technically Ganon's Castle because
he's running the show.
Over.
Yeah, he's running the show.
He's just like, well, fuck you all.
You want to get in?
That's my castle now.
900 guardians running the show there.
Yeah, everywhere is just my little goop that kills you. A bunch of guardians. Take some Lionels too. And a lot of overpowered enemies, and a lot of overpowered weapons.
Oh yeah. So it looks like El Tweak just confirmed to us that he got a 222. He is still in 16th place. Didn't quite get a time good enough to bump Puppet, but still, like I said, really, really close. About 2 minutes away from you, 2 minutes and some odd seconds. So it's going to be interesting to see, how the techniques go, what mistakes get made, what mistakes are avoided. Because in his PB now, he had problems with Yunobo. And here you did not. So that poses an interesting question. Who will Yunobo be forgiving to? And over?
I can totally see Yunobo. Yunobo screwing me over in the important part.
Or, like I said, the same thing could happen as Yunobo could be very, very merciful to you, and just like in El Tweak's PB, he could get screwed over. You never know. Or vice versa, like you said. It's really hard to tell. Or, something even more exciting can happen. Screw both of you over.
Yeah, that would be really great. Imagine just one person dying to Yunobo, and then everything is, oh no, the other person will win, and then the other person is dying to Yunobo.
Or him just stand on a rock for both of you and have both of you guys just stare at him.
Yeah, that can happen.
That's the worst thing that happens to me, is he'll just stand on that rock after the second trigger. And he'll just be like, whoa, I'm not going anywhere.
Yunobo, please.
That's probably the most RNG heavy section of the entire run, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, I mean, RNG heavy, it just randomly screws you over. That's what I
Right.
hate about it. I
You
mean,
could
it's not
say-
like it's hard or something like that. I mean, it's just like, well, you just die now.
It's kind of like rolling the dice. It's like, okay,
I
am I
don't
gonna
know
get a
where to
good one or
go because
not?
I'm Yano and I'm an idiot. Yeah, that's totally how it
Ooh,
is.
just got grazed by a guardian there, but it looks like FlameINN's still alive. You had a little bit of trouble with that second waterfall. You were falling a little
Yeah,
bit
I
too
was not
early.
close enough to the waterfall, so he does not wanted to go up there.
It was a really well. Not only that, but the second waterfall was the third waterfall. You ended up going right through the water and started trying to climb it, and so you had very little.
Because I was just like, oh no, I have to get really far there.
Right,
So
you
I don't.
overcompensated.
So yeah, so that doesn't happen again. But instead, it was even worse.
Yeah, I was like, no. Well, all of us in the chat were just like, no, go. Stamina's almost out. Keep going. But luckily, you had just enough stamina to make it there on time. Okay, it looks like FlameINN is approaching the Sanctum now. Let's hope he doesn't get grazed by too many. Oh, he's already on a Guardian's. Oh, 2 Guardians aims.
Oh
Yep.
yeah,
Making a save right there.
Guardians. Beware the Guardians.
You didn't have too many problems with Guardians, I noticed. They were giving you a little bit of grief at the very end, but like especially with your ride to Katachuki, like normally they give you a lot of hard time, but they were fine. Like at the very end, the Broken Guardian was aiming at you a little bit. Oh,
Yeah.
It was totally fine.
I mean, you'd normally just... There are some strats to avoid them. I mean, normally when you're riding a horse, you just have to have a slightly different angle from their shooting, so you move a little bit and don't get killed.
Like you just did here at the first trial.
Yeah.
Ooh, just took a sword there.
I'm just playing.
You're just messing around.
Yeah.
Hey, I would do it too. I'm probably gonna do that.
Cause I wanna try to speedrun something of that, but
Like at all dungeons with DLC.
Yeah, all dungeons and DLC will be great.
Alright, so we got FlameINN doing his Ganon fight right now. He's getting a decent headshots. I know you were having a little bit of problem getting those headshots off.
Yeah, but normal shots
work just as well. They work just as well.
That was really cool that it worked out. Even though I ended up failing the stun lock, which was really dumb on my side. Because I ran out of stamina.
You grabbed him with that deflection of the laser, and then you finished him off with a couple of bomb arrows.
Yeah. But normally it should be free. It should be free to get the stun lock. It's not too hard, actually.
FlameINN's getting the stun lock without any problems so far. But that's only his first time. Nope, missed it. Oh, and he took a death at Calamity Ganon.
Ah, that's painful.
That's very painful, and that's going to set him back even more than he already is. So he's already passed Orchestra's time on this tournament. Let's see what time he ends up getting. I mean, normally even a really good Calamity Ganon and Beast Ganon takes, what, 4 or 5 minutes?
Yeah, I think around that.
You're the expert, you tell me.
I actually don't have that much knowledge about the exact times what section take like. Because I'm just like, oh, I'm just do it.
I'm the same way with my run, although my excuse is my run's just so freaking long.
Yeah, of course.
People are like, what? You don't know all your split times? I'm like, no. I've got like 300 split, guys. Give me a break.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow. So for some reason, FlameINN keeps on like accidentally crawling, I think is like he accidentally presses the crawl button and it ends up screwing him over for some reason. But he's back to Calamity Ganon.
Sometimes he just wants to crawl. When you
I've never had that problem.
Yeah, sometimes when you're pressing down in panic, you press it harder than you should do it, and then he ends up crawling.
Like gripping the controller too hard?
Yeah, it can happen.
Yeah. Maybe it's because I use the Wii U, what's it called? Not the Pro controller, but the actual remote that it comes with.
Gamepad.
Yeah, the gamepad. Thank you. Yeah.
The same one I use.
Oh, you use it too. Okay, let's can't
Yeah.
it then.
I like the gamepad. It's
Flame
good.
takes another death. I find the infinite running glitch faster on the gamepad, and everyone says that it's easier on the, what do you call it?
The Pro
On
controller.
Pro controller, and I don't believe that. I'm like, no. I have bigger fingers, and so I have to like break my middle finger just to get it right.
Yeah. To get used to the wizard running can be a little bit tricky.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's another unfortunate death that he just took.
Yeah. The worst thing that can happen on Calamity is that you want to use Woza to stun him, and then he just is a little bit faster than you and kills you.
And kills you with his
so many times that I don't even attempt that now.
Yeah, I noticed you didn't go for that. You did your...
Yeah, because I know that I will die when I do that.
Right. Well, that's probably a safer bet.
Because I try it, and then I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm releasing Urbosa now, but Calamity is just a little bit faster, and so I would die in that case. I don't want to do that.
Well, again, it's probably smarter. You ended up winning. That's the important part.
Yeah, but it was not that the only part that ended up letting me win. I mean, there are...
Phase 2 again now. Hopefully he can get it this time around.
Where are my electric arrows?
There's his first Urbosa. Calamity Ganon goes down to the ground. Starts spinning. Nope, doesn't do the... Ooh, takes a hit. I don't know why he canceled the spinning. He didn't try and... Oh, he got a flurry rush that far away. That's impressive.
I think when you start running the game, you don't think you should do the...
Ooh, took another death there. Tried getting far away enough from Calamity Ganon's hit, but he took another death. That's unfortunate. Having a really hard time with the Calamity Ganon fight.
Sometimes Calamity just does not want to cooperate.
Control you.
Yeah.
So, okay, I have a question for you. This is a little bit of a tricky one. Besides Unova, besides Thunderblight, what's the most trolly segment?
Trolley section. The boulders on the way to the Yiga clan hideout.
Oh, the bow snipers. Oh.
No, the boulders, actually. Those rocks coming down there.
Oh, the boulders coming down from the cliff.
Yeah. I have taken so much damage against them in the past.
Well, and how much damage do those boulders usually do? It's not a one-hit KO, is it?
No, I think it's 2.5 hearts.
Oh, okay. So it's still just enough that if the boulder hits you, you start rolling, and then you take rolling damage and you die.
Yeah, but you can heal before that.
Oh, gotcha.
So that's not the problem. The problem is just that I think you lose your sense here then, and yeah, you have to run and...
running up that hill. FlameINN had to do that because he took a death trying to get into the Yiga clan hideout.
Yeah.
He took, let me
It's
see
also really
here.
bad to take a death there. Because
Yeah.
the game is just like, oh, well, you don't have a sand seal anymore.
Oh yeah, that's the worst. I think that's one of the mechanics that I wish they would fix, is that if you're gonna pay 20 rupees for a sand seal, if you die, it better be there for you.
Yeah.
If I whistle, it better be coming to me. But oh well, I guess it is what it is. Yeah, I think he died around 4 times just getting into Yiga Hideout. The launch that you take from Rito Village to the flight range, he failed that 5 times. He failed the Enter Rito Village launch once. He died twice at Thunderblight. The Enter Gerudo tree launch that you take after the box launch. I think he failed that about 4 times, so just a lot of deaths.
I still don't know how that dealt 3 damage.
Yeah.
I think it should only deal 2 damage. Because I always only get 2 damage there.
Yeah, and it did that multiple times to him. I don't know why it did, but yeah, it did that multiple times to him. Just really trolled him.
That's really dumb.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate. Honestly, if we were to sum up the time losses that he incurred just from deaths, and then, like I said, this is the 3rd death now from the Calamity Ganon. Alright, looks like he's going to finish Calamity Ganon off. There we go, he got it. So now he's going to be approaching Beast Ganon.
Nice.
After 3 deaths, I believe, from Calamity Ganon.
I actually don't know how many times I've died in my first attempt on Calamity Ganon.
Oh, I still die. I'm a hundo runner and I still die.
Really?
Yeah.
You're so overpowered, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. He can still troll you like crazy, though. Because just the way that I've routed out my... No, he died! Oh my gosh, he was trying to run to the side of Beast Ganon and got caught by Beast Ganon's laser shot.
Ah, that's the worst.
And just instantly died. Oh my god.
Yeah, Calamity's lasers are really damaging. But
Oh,
at
but
least
he spawns back at Calamity Ganon, though.
yeah, you spawn back at the Beast Ganon.
I didn't know that. I did not know that. I sincerely thought that it made you start the whole thing over again.
Yeah, if you've killed Ganon, I mean Calamity Ganon, then nice. You've made it. If you die to Beast Ganon, you don't have to do Calamity again.
Yeah, I have never died.
Good for any percent.
Yeah, I've never died.
Normally, when you die there, you have to do everything again, over again.
Oh,
but not
man.
if you beat Ganon.
Oh man. Yeah, no, I've never died at Beast Ganon. I've died many times at Calamity Ganon. But
Oh, I
Beast
died
Ganon,
at Beast Ganon before.
Actually, no, that's
It's
not
possible,
true.
trust
I was
me.
doing a race. And I Beast Ganon. That's not true. I lied.
Liar.
I am. I admit my lie.
Actually, don't know how I died on Beast Ganon, but I'm pretty sure I did it once.
I
More
think
than
mine
once.
was dumb. I think mine, I just, what do you call it? I was about to do the final shot to his eye, and I ran out of stamina for my Flurry Rush.
I remember doing that also in one of my PBs. That was so bad.
Well, and my reaction time was off because I was tired. So my reaction time wasn't fast enough for me to do the fall damage negation with the axe, with the item swap, and I just fell. Yeah, that was. I do remember that now.
Yeah, I was. That would have been like a 10-minute PB for me, and it ended still like being a 3-minute PB, I think. I don't know.
That's good at least.
Yeah, it was back in the days where my PB was like 3:10.
It was very entertaining how, speaking of Ganon, how when you were doing the Beast Ganon fight, you made a couple of preemptive shots on him.
Yeah,
in some areas where I'm sure he didn't appreciate.
Oh yeah, I'm just so bored that I do that because you know it's
Looks
fucking
like
Beast Ganon.
Right. It looks like it's time for the final shot here. See if he gets it. Where is he going? I'm not sure where he's going. He got stepped on and his horse ran away. I'm wondering... But you don't really need your horse to finish Calamity Ganon.
No.
Okay.
You can't do it without.
Well,
I mean, I killed my horse.
Right,
So...
you intentionally killed him.
Yeah.
Which I also thought was really funny.
I hate horses, so that's my revenge for because the horses like to screw me over and like to kill me. So I think giving a revenge is fair.
Yeah. Alright, now he's Rivali's scaling up, but he's very much off timing. The eye isn't even thinking about opening. Oh, here we go. I might be opening here soon. But he doesn't have the... Oh! Doesn't have the stamina for it, and he falls. Okay, but he still has a little bit of paraglider left. Yeah, if you do that too early with just one stamina, you're not going to make that shot. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're revolving up again. Nope, too early. Too early again.
I mean, if you're out of stamina and falling down, you have one chance to open the power glider again.
Right.
Even though it closes after about 1 second and you fall down then.
He fails again. Let's see if he can get this third try. Nope, too early, too early. Too early, and now you're falling. Ooh. Took a fall there, and now he has no Rivali's Gales. See how he...
You can use the updraft.
Right, that's what he's trying to do right now. Okay. He finally got it. With an official SRL time of 3:20:01.
Nice. Still better than my second run.
There you go.
The funny thing is, even though I have finished a long time ago, I'm still dying here doing the DLC mission.
Oh yeah, I died a ton of times my first run.
Because I'm just like doing a shit ton of mistakes and I'm being dumb.
Yeah, so it looks like from 3:20 to 2:29, it looks like there's approximately 51 minutes difference between the two of you. So a whole hour ahead. That's very, very solid. But again, a lot of deaths were made on FlameINN that caused him to have that time.
Yeah, and you have to remember that he's only doing it for... He has only learned that for this tournament, so
right, yeah,
he did not have a lot of time to practice, actually.
Yeah, like less than a month, if I'm not mistaken. So honestly, a 3:20 is a really good time for having a category in less than a month.
Yeah, if I would have been so new to the category, I think my time would still be around 4 hours.
Yeah, and he was really hoping for a sub 3 this entire time, so it's a shame he wasn't able to get it.
Yeah, he'll get it next time in the next race.
There you go.
It'll be so hype when he gets like a half an hour PB.
And there is still losers
these
bracket.
Good times.
You bring up a very good point, is that there is still losers bracket. People who lost in these past 2 races will still have a chance to win the tournament. You need to be eliminated 2 times in order for you to be able to, in order for you to be disqualified.
Yes.
I guess disqualified is not the right word. It's eliminated. It looks like he's not responding in his actual... I'm going to see if I can get into his chat and see if I can bring him in. Okay, looks like he's going to be joining us here soon. Get in.
Nice.
He's not quite sure where to enter, and I'm trying to tell him it's the live on air.
Yeah, this was
No.
only that's also my issue. I was just, can I just join that? I mean, it's live on air, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think they give you permission ahead of time before the race even starts. They anticipate, okay, we're going to need the commentator, and at the end we're going to have an interview. So the two runners, we're going to give them permission now, and then after the race and the runs are all over, we'll take it off.
No, I think I always had permission to join in. I'm not sure.
Oh, someone's a little bit more special than the rest of us.
I think it's, if you're able to see this, then you can also.
Oh, there he is.
Hi.
Hey.
I had to use the restroom.
Oh, okay. Well, hey,
That's
GG, my
fair.
friend.
GG. I'm not happy about that one.
Were you able to PB on this one?
I did. I PB'd by 13 minutes and 4 seconds.
Oh,
Nice.
Congratulations.
GG.
I'm still not happy about it.
Well,
lepelog was just telling me that his time when he was doing his first, second, and third runs. What were your times? Do you remember, lepelog?
my first time was 4 hours 25 minutes, and my second time was 3 hours and something above. I mean, I don't think I remember it correctly. I mean, 3 hours 21 minutes, something like that. So about your time, FlameINN.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And that's the third one I've completed, so that's
Well,
Yeah,
still,
so-
honestly, yeah.
So you're actually doing good.
Yeah, you're doing very, very good.
If
Honestly,
if you're doing that for that short period of time, you will make really, really bad mistakes. I remember that. But eventually you get better.
and honestly,
Yeah,
there were a
because-
couple of moments here that I would debatably say you did a little bit better than lepelog.
Yeah,
Oh.
of course.
I guess some of the dungeons, since you haven't practiced for a second lepelog, I guess I ran through those maybe a little faster.
Yeah.
I wouldn't just say that. Lepelog, do you want to tell him where you?
Where I failed? I failed a lot.
The first step that we saw him get was the shield jump over to the bridge, heading to Cryo the first
Oh yeah,
time.
that was very good.
Oh yeah, we were in chat and he was telling me about that.
Okay, and then another thing that I actually pointed out that FlameINN did spot on, that I actually haven't seen a runner do in a very long time, personally, were those 8 arrow shots at Enter the Meadow. You got all 8 of them, spot on.
Oh really? Nice.
Oh yeah, that's something, I don't know, I've just always been good at hitting those. I've never really had an issue with it, and I think it's just where, like, I aim, because I'm really good at, like, just knowing where to put my pointer to hit those.
You got like a visual cue?
Yeah, yeah. And, like, it's not something I'm consciously aware of, it's just something that happens, you know?
Yeah, I wish I would have that. I try to have some visual cues, but they don't seem to work every time.
Well, because you're not always in
mean-
the same place.
Like,
You move around a lot, like... Yeah, you just have
Yeah.
to. That's part of the boss.
So there are a couple of the more the gruesome, nightmarish moments that I want to bring back up, just so we can kind of talk about them, FlameINN. First and foremost, actually, this isn't even the gruesome part. This is one of the things that I found was super. You got a 3-speed on the first try. Tell us about that. Or a 4-speed at the first try.
4-speed.
Oh, a 4-speed on the first try?
You got a first try 4-speed.
Yeah, well, that's just kind of like... Usually what you want to do is you want to just fly right next to the horse and then jump on it, but that rock is very useful right there, because I hardly ever get all the way to the horse with the stasis launch. And so it felt really good getting that. I did have to do the stasis launch twice, though.
Well, I think that's one of the things that both of you failed. And lepelog, since he was flying machine, he chose to just ditch those horses further out and get the ones that were closest to the plateau. But you actually did a reload, got it on the second try, and then boom, 4-speed horse.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. Which really helped. Like I got 13 minutes of PB right there, but like before that, getting I saved 20 minutes from where I was, because I was 6 minutes behind. So yeah, I think that really helped.
I have to go to the bathroom really quick. Be right back.
Yeah, no worries. Can we talk about those on the way to flight range launches, those tree launches? What was going on in your mind with those when those are happening?
That would happen to me. I was, I don't know. I've never had an issue with those, until now. And the first one...
I was gonna say, you usually have that launch pretty much down. You don't ever have a problem with that from what I've seen. And then right here in a race, the worst possible place for it to happen, boom, 5 failed launches.
Well, you've got to realize at this point I've been up for 20 hours, so, you know.
The tiredness is coming in.
It's possible. 20 hours, possible. Lost my train of... Oh yeah, but those stasis launches, the first few that I failed, is because I was using the wrong tree. And I'm not necessarily blaming the angle, but I was worried about it falling, because if you use the wrong tree, it'll fall there.
Right.
And so I did that the first few times, and then I just couldn't get it. I have no idea why, but it just was not working for me today.
Yeah, and then you had a little bit of a hard time with Thunderblight in the beginning, but you got past that really easily. Yiga clan was just super trolly to you. I mean, there was this one time where not only were the Yiga shooters coming, but then you also had the Stalmoblins, and then you had a Thunder Keys or a Lightning Keys.
I know. I died 5 separate times to 5 separate things there, and that really tilted me. I was like, no, why? Why is this happening?
Yeah, no, I was even telling the chat, man, the whole Zelda universe just does not want him getting into Yiga clan hideout.
They definitely upped their defenses since the last time I infiltrated them. That's for sure.
No kidding.
Yeah, the Keeses are really, really bad enemies. I hate them.
The electric Keys are the worst.
Yeah, they are the worst ones.
So you got that.
When it's raining, they're even more trolly. You have something
they just...
electric, something, and
the electricity conducts with the rain, and they have even more range of damage.
Yes.
Yep, they don't have to be as close to you to do damage.
But yeah, you got to Ruta, no problem whatsoever. Both of those tree launches you seem to have zero trouble with. Had a little bit of a hard time with the Enter Ruta. It looks like you had to do an extra cycle on that.
Let's see.
I think you fell also when you were actually in Varuta. You fell once and you had to double back around, but that wasn't too big of a time loss.
I did. I get Ruta and Meadow mixed up a lot, so I was like,
oh.
What? Anyways, yeah, no, I did. I was doing really good, and then I was trying to Cryonis really fast to get the one cycle, and then that's where I fell, and then I had to double back around, yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, and then Calamity again was just no mercy.
Oh, that was a nightmare. I feel like I might need to practice that, because every time I get to him, like, it's just a little bit sketchy. But, because I know
Yeah.
there's a certain way, like, if you use your, what's it called? The Urbosa's Fury?
Mhm.
Like, if you cycle that properly, he should just be down all the time, and then you can get him really
Yeah.
fast, so...
There's a stun lock method. That's actually not too hard, even though I failed it. But you can, with a little bit of practice, you can get that really consistent. And that makes the fight so fucking much easier. Really.
Oh,
Yeah, I just
Because
need to
then he
do
doesn't
my
climb the
research on that,
wall.
really.
Yeah. I mean, you can always ask me or in the Discord if you need any help
Sweet.
on that. I'm not sure if there's any tutorial video on that. I mean,
No,
there's...
but you can
if you
watch
can-
pretty much any runner that has like a high time on there. They do Ganon really efficiently, so...
Yeah, and I mean, there's also a pretty good visual cue for this. When he's just
Right when
going
he's
with
powering back up,
his
isn't
chest,
it?
and when his chest, and then you can release the button of spinning, and then he should be stun locked.
Yeah, I was gonna say usually the visual cue is right when he's powering back up. His invincibility is when you want to let go of your spinning, and then it stun locks him.
Okay, I have an issue with stamina there as well.
Yeah, that's
Well, you
what
have to be
screwed me over
patient.
too.
Yeah, you have to be very patient with that. You can't start spinning until a very precise moment. You know, once you got him down, you can start spinning and then start spinning again.
Yeah.
But
That
That was
makes
all
sense.
shrines that
Yeah.
screwed me over there. Because in all shrines you used to have a lot more
you
stamina.
had stamina, yeah.
Weird. And so I was just like, oh yeah, I can start spinning again. And then, whoops, nope, I don't have enough stamina. War with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then, yeah, besides those 3 calamity deaths, then you ended up getting, were you stepped on by Beast Ganon, or did his, what do you call it, did his laser get you?
The laser.
His laser got me because I dismounted my horse on accident. I'm not even sure what happened there, but
I know that. Sometimes when I would just want to mesh oh yeah, you got the lipo cutscene away, then...
yeah, and then I just jumped off the horse.
That also
the
used to happen
worst.
to me a lot when I did not pay attention and was just like meshing plus and X to skip the cutscene, which is now over.
Well, and you have a tendency to kind of relax more, because you're like, oh, it's Beast Ganon, so it's easy.
Yeah.
And that's where it gets you. He's like, haha, no, I'm gonna kill ya.
You have to pay a little bit of attention.
But guys, that was all the time we have. Thank you so much for a great race. GG to both of you. Congratulations on the PB flame, and way to go.
Thank you. It's been a fun tournament.
That's the silver lining here, and you are still in it. You do still have a chance to win this whole thing. You're going to be going over to the losers bracket. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you will be going against Orchestra.
Yes, I do believe so.
And so you'll be going against Orchestra, and then Lepelog, once again, you're going against whoever wins the L-Tweak Harmjon race, whenever that happens to go through. But
Harmjon
I
doesn't
have to
even have a
watch
run
that.
built yet, so...
oh, he doesn't? Has he actually
No.
went through it yet?
No, he hasn't.
So he's never gone through the all dungeons run once against L-Tweak.
Yep. So
we
basically,
gonna-
if I can win Orchestra, then I can beat Harmjon. So
Right. Well, and then again, you also have to remember, chances are there's going to be a very, very tight race here between L-Tweak and Lepelog. So whichever one of those two win, you're going to have to go back and have a rematch if Lepelog wins. And if not, you're going to be dealing with quite the adversary that is L-Tweak.
what time did Lepelog get?
He got an official SRL time of 2:29:35.
Ooh, yeah. I'm working on just trying to get sub 3 at the moment.
Well, I guess you got a lot of practice to get to.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of places I can save time, so...
Well, if anyone hasn't done so already, again, Be sure to follow these two runners. Great runners, great entertainers. Again, thank both of you for the spectacular performance, spectacular race. GG to both of you again. We'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, but definitely have to follow the great commentator of this race if you want to see more Breath of the Wild.
Oh,
even
thank
100%, because this guy is crazy.
you.
Yep, specs and stats.
Oh man. Well, hey guys,
yeah.
you guys take care, and we'll see you next race.
Yo. Bye.
Bye.